Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I want to talk about a few different topics. One, we're going to be starting out with Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly. They were on their YouTube channels Monday night, of course. And we're going to talk about Carlos saying that Juan Dixon from the Real Housewives of Potomac is the most disrespectful man in reality TV. We're going to talk about it all. And then, of course, I want to dive into Stormi Steele from Love and Marriage Huntsville, her Instagram post. Shout out to all of the wonderful bloggers, including Shop Reality TV and so many others who have commented on this. I wanted to give my opinion as well. And also shout out to her for Hot Tea. She shared the amazing TikTok review from the two Caucasian women that were just dragging Canvas Beauty's body glaze. So that all ties into her posting, making those posts last night. And then also, I want to share with you a man's soundbite saying that women in their early 30s are no longer in their prime because they decided to pursue education and a job and not worry about getting married just yet. Yes, we're going to get into all of that. Now, before we do, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. You hear us content creators ask for this every day. Even if you were to hit the dislike button, either one of those work the same, meaning that YouTube will recommend this video to more people who love discussing the various topics surrounding Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would definitely love to have you. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these clips are allowed for criticism. All right, so let's jump right on in. So we're going to get started with Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King. By the time it plays, I think it's going to be in the middle of the soundbite, so I'm going to play it again so that we hear it in its totality, and then I'll come back with my commentary. I am going to mute my mic so that you all do not experience an echo. Thank you.
And alone to answer questions about the transgressions that he made in his life that impacted her and her position on this show. It was sad to see that Robin had to sit there and answer questions about Juan as the breadwinner, as the person who is on the show for 8 seasons, and she didn't do nothing wrong. Robin didn't go out there and cheat with her ex and don't know who the father is. Hey, Mia. And we love Mama Mia, baby. But I've said this once and I'll say it again. And I actually like Robin a lot. Robin, if you're listening, that man don't love you. He doesn't love you because the only way it would make sense to me is this. If you did something to him, we've got Gordon showing up for Mia. We'll get to that in a second. Gordon showed up for Mia. And Mia has lay it low and spread it wide with her ex, baby. Okay? And Gordon even showed up to support the mother of his kids.
We probably can be stupid for a man. You've been stupid for a man before, Carlos, right?
We've all been stupid for a man.
But he got to show some kind of, for me to stay stupid, he got to at least act like he cares. This man act like he don't like her. This man act like he don't respect her. This man act like, not even act like he doesn't respect her.
He That's the T. He doesn't respect her at all.
And he gives her lame excuses and she just goes for it like she's stupid. And I love Robin too. I just don't think she's dumb. I think she's just trying to save face. It ain't none of our brother tucking business how you live your life. But if y'all gonna put it on TV like this, then the man need to answer for these questions. But the problem is he ain't got no answer. So why come?
No, he had answers. He had, this is the thing. He had answers on the show. But we all know that answers was a bunch of bullshit.
But support your wife. It's showing that he gives her no support at all in any way, financially, emotionally. You know what I'm saying? He makes her feel like she's not worthy. And I hate that for Robin because I love Robin. I don't know Ron from Adam Ant, but it looks like on the show, he's not a supportive husband in any realm.
Juan Dixon has to be, hands down, the most disrespectful man I've ever seen on reality television.
I would agree with that.
I think it is so fucked up that your wife has to stand alone to answer questions about the transgressions that he made in his life that impacted her and her position on this show. It was sad to see that Robin had to sit there and answer questions about Juan as the breadwinner, as the person who was on the show for 8 seasons, and she didn't do nothing wrong. Robin didn't go out there and cheat with her ex and don't know who the father is. Hey, Mia, and we love Mama Mia, baby.
Okay, so you all heard it there. Dr. Heavenly and Carlos, now that Married to Medicine is over, they still continue their Messy Monday show on Monday evenings, but they talk about whatever hot topics are happening that day. And they were discussing the part 1 of the reunion for season 8 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And Carlos, surprisingly but unsurprisingly, because it's Carlos King, with this soundbite, you totally have to consider the source. Carlos says that the most disrespectful man in reality TV has to be Juan Dixon from The Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I believe that in my eyes, it appears that Carlos is trying to convince himself that Juan's transgressions are worse than Martell holds. And we all know that that's a bunch of baloney. Now, I want to talk about Juan and Robin Dixon from The Real Housewives of Potomac. What probably looks the worst is that each reunion, this Negro never shows up. And all of the other women who have husbands, their husbands are sitting behind them for the segments where the men come out. And Robin is sitting there as if she is a single woman, like Giselle Bryant. But like, no, you've been living with this man. You all were married prior. You got divorced, but never stopped living together. Then you remarried legally, like I believe that was last year, and he still didn't show up. And I mean, he was your storyline. He doesn't even have the balls to say no comment to Andy Cohen's face. He doesn't even have the nerve to say, you know, when nobody here is perfect, nobody can judge me. He doesn't even have the nerve to say, well, you know, when the young man came to me about the alleged sexual harassment, you know, I didn't know it was a law that I had to report it. That was my bad mistake. I definitely paid for it. None of that. And he just leaves Robin there to sit on that sofa and take the heat for what Carlos calls his transgressions. But the part that seems hypocritical and just a lack of awareness is for Carlos King to call Juan Dixon the most disrespectful man in reality TV. Had Dr. Heavenly said that and Carlos just turned off his webcam or got up and walked away or left the stream altogether, if Dr. Heavenly said that, it would not pack such a hypocritical punch. But because it's coming from Mr. Carlos King, it is ridiculous. Even Jay Taylor, Mel's makeup artist, commented, "I know you effing lying," and then the rolling of the eyes, the annoyed emoji. And it's ridiculous. Bloggers like Chef Don Don commented and said that it is ridiculous. And we all know that Martell has definitely been way more troublesome, just trying to basically torture Melody with revenge P, trying to get full custody of her kids and calling her 304 and just really being disrespectful, showing up on dates, wanting all of the passwords to her social media and her devices, trying to totally violate her boundaries, violate her personal space, just because they were once married. He is the most disrespectful man in reality TV. And Carlos doesn't even have the balls to speak on the Revenge P charges. So really, he's in the same boat as Juan Dixon. He's in no position to judge Juan. And at this point, and I don't even really feel it for Robin Dixon, but at this point, I would love to interview her just to get her feedback on what these two have said about her and her husband. So this is just definitely very triggering. There were lots of people in the comments on this piece. Shout out to the Bravo Shade Room for posting the clip here on Instagram. And there were people tagging Carlos, like, Carlos, you didn't even speak on the Revenge P. You know that Martell Holt has been the most disrespectful man, disrespectful to his ex-wife. You know, and of course he did not comment. But I definitely wanted to give my thoughts on this. And if you are a member of Chef Don Don, definitely check out the video that he's made giving his commentary on this as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Basically, Carlos trying to cover for Martell by shining a light on Juan Dixon. And yes, Juan Dixon is trifling too, but don't call him the most disrespectful man in reality TV when we all know that that is not true. And I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to prepare to share my screen to talk about Miss Stormi Still. Just give me one moment here. And yes, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you have not already done so. So I want to just set the tone like Sophia Petrillo from Golden Girls. Picture it. April 2nd, 2024. Here for Hot Tea, she made a really she just really dug in deep on some recent reviews, some more reviews of the Body Glaze product and Stormi Still. And, you know, a young lady saying that allegedly she has not received the product. And she became familiar with Body Glaze through TikTok. And the young lady said that she was not going to go through TikTok Shop because she just doesn't trust it. So she ordered some Body Glaze through the Shop app. And she was waiting on like an email for like a status update. You know, like when you order things online, you know, your order has been shipped. Here's your tracking number. If you want to track it, then you can actually click on the tracking number. Safari pops up if you have an iPhone, and then it tells you where it is en route, if it's in transit, you know, if it's in your local area, if it's about to be delivered, if it is delivered, you know, and she never got that. So she sent an email. And then she said she eventually got an email with the tracking number, but she said, I think I was supposed to get it like sooner, but she just like didn't get the items. And so definitely Stormi watches bloggers within the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector. And she has seen that content because she actually wrote, everything happens for me, not to me, waiting to see what God has in store. It's like she's trying to lift herself up and she's sharing, you know, her mantra with us. So thankful I documented every step of my journey. Let me go back. Let me pause it. So thankful I documented every step of my journey this go round. And from pics to videos, warehouse moves, I do mean everything. Canvas Beauty, the next billion-dollar brand. Still can't believe we work with one of the top fragrance houses. And shout out to Shop Reality TV, because I know that she showed this as well. I checked out this video. Now, obviously, Stormi is trying to cover for those bad reviews that, you know, continues to roll in, allegedly, from what I can see. So she is trying to speak on like some positives to try and counter the negative reviews. And then the young lady in the TikTok video also said that the scent wasn't the best in her opinion. I'm just repeating what she said. Stormi. And Stormi then had to make that post saying that they work with one of the top fragrance houses in the world of our body glaze scents. So she's basically trying to counter what the young lady said in the TikTok review. I have a team of 57 employees I'm responsible for, and I will move the earth to make sure we're all good. But if there is an issue with the customer service, That's so problematic. And then like that's why like I don't want to experience like ordering something and not getting it. So like don't expect to see a video from me where I'm like experimenting to see about how the whole process goes. Like I don't even want to step into that situation if it's going to be a negative experience. So like I cringe, and it almost can give you anxiety when you listen to people talk. They're anticipating something that they've spent their money on. Money doesn't grow on trees. We all work hard on our jobs, and you're waiting for it to come in. You're being patient. Like, oh my gosh, and then you don't get it allegedly. That's terrible. And then if the customer service department is non-existent, that really sucks because then that means no accountability. Nothing gets taken care of. Because I know when I've experienced bad customer service, if you go on that company's Facebook page, when they care about their customer service and when they pay people to monitor customers' comments on their Facebook page, when that's a paid position at a company, they care about their customer service. I have gotten DMs, I've gotten calls. Can we please call you? Apologizing, straightening it out. So for that young lady on the TikTok video to say that, the customer service is basically non-existent, that is such a huge red flag for me and so problematic. I'm like, oh my gosh, allegedly. And in the young lady's opinion, I'm just repeating it. And so I also hope that we don't see any IG stories saying that, it's racism or, it's the white man or the white woman trying to do this or trying to do that. It really has nothing to do with race because other Black customers have given similar reviews and spoken of a similar experience. So it's definitely not racism. And look, I don't even take pleasure in reporting something like this because again, when I'm a customer, when I'm spending my money, I want to have a good experience, whether I'm doing a staycation at a hotel or if I'm getting my locks retwisted, if I'm getting a pedicure, a massage, if I'm ordering online. I want it all to be a pleasant experience because that's what I deserve. And I'm literally paying you to give me a pleasant experience. So I hope the girl gets it together. And, at the same time, I've been a customer, an employee. I've never ran a company or this huge hair and skincare company that she says that, this is. So I don't even know how she can tackle the customer service. It sounds like she may want to hire a consultant where they specialize in building, expanding, improving beauty companies' customer service department. She might want to hire a consultant or seriously survey some people, some customers, and ask, what are they looking for? What can they improve upon? And then go from there. What serious suggestions would you suggest to Stormi to improve on the customer service and to get away from those TikTok videos? That was I didn't celebrate in that at all. I was like, dang, this is so messed up. So if anything, if Stormi can look at it in a positive way, listen to what the TikToker and what Here for Hot Tea is trying to say, and maybe give her some really suggestive feedback that she can use to try and improve upon these things. All right, y'all. So there is another soundbite that I want to share with you all. Between the soundbite and my commentary, we're talking about like another 5 minutes, but it is a right-wing commentator, so a conservative commentator called Charlie Kirk. He is talking about women in their early 30s no longer being in their prime because they chose to be educated and get a corporate job, and they did not worry about getting married in their 20s. So now they're less attractive and not in their prime, and they're running out of time. So we're going to play this soundbite, and then I'm going to come back with my commentary. And again, the Fair Use Act of 1976, the Copyright Act of 1976, says that my fair use commentary on this soundbite is allowed. This is coming from Mediaite, and I'm going to mute my mic so that you all do not experience an echo. Here we go.
also, let's be honest, like, so this is what's amazing. So we have it is the least married young female generation in American history. We have more 30-something young women that are single than married. And they are by far the most reliable Democrat voting bloc, even more than black voters now. They vote 95% Democrat. If you are a 32-year-old young lady who went to college, who has a nice apartment, a corporate job, and cats, you're a Democrat voter, right? And so how do we win them over? I'll get to that in a second. What's amazing is once they get married, they become 50-50. Once they have kids, they become like right wing about by 20 points. And so the issue is that we're not having enough kids in this country. We're not. Amen. And that we've basically told a great generation of young women, don't get married, don't have kids, go get a corporate job. And it's created mass political hysteria. And then in their early 30s, they get really upset because they say, the boys don't want to date me anymore because they're not at their prime. And people get mad when I say that. Well, it's just true. If you're in your early 30s, I'm sorry. It's like you're not as attractive in the dating pool as you were in the early 20s. But again, you have your corporate job and cats. So I thought, and I feel sorry for a lot of these young ladies. They email me all the time and they say, Charlie, I'm broken down in tears. I'm 33. I earn $130,000 a year. I travel a lot. And I have no one to share my life with. And I hope they find somebody in time. And that's why they always frame it. They're like, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. It's like, well, the culture did this to you, but you also made a decision. You made a decision consciously to not date with the intent to marry. And it creates a lot of bad consequences. I'm not saying that every young woman is called necessarily to be a mother, but almost every single one is. And almost every single one deep down wants to be a mother. And they're told, hey, I want it all. I want it all the time. You need to ask, if you had to choose, which would it be? A great, amazing career or a beautiful, healthy family? And they're never actually presented with that binary. Young men are becoming very right-wing because of the feminization of American culture. Is that there's a war on young men in this country. Specifically, there's a war on...
And I just paused it there because he's going to say there's a war on men, particularly there is a war on white men. So then, and then he talks about how, they police our thoughts and our language. We can't really say how we feel because of people's feelings. And then that's where I stopped it. Okay. So this was one of his turning point faith events. And he was speaking on women who did not get married in their 20s, but they pursued education and a career. And now they're less attractive, not so much in their prime, and nobody wants to date them. And now they're ready to get married. Okay, listen, life does not stop at age 30. Life does not stop at age 30. And there's more to a woman than just her physical beauty. And there are plenty of women, we see them in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who are super fine, and they are successful as well. Now, of course, I'm thinking of some celebrity women like the beautiful Cheryl Lee Ralph. She's nearly 70. Cynthia Bailey is in about her mid-50s. Lynn Whitfield has to be 60. Gorgeous women. And then there's women that I know in my personal life who are fine. And, some of them are old enough to be my mom. My sister Donna, she works out every day at 4 a.m. She's 21 years older than me. She looks great, size 8, and has been between a size 6 and a size 8 like my entire life. But anyway, so I feel like this guy, Charlie Kirk, he's judging women and looking at women on a very superficial level. And he said that most women are called to be a mother. Well, even if a woman has a heart's desire to be a mother, it could be God's will that she do other things. If unfortunately her physical body does not allow her to birth a child, some people don't have that desire to be a mom, and it doesn't make them any less of a woman. And you can get married at any age. If it does not happen in your 30s, it's okay. What he just said is like grooming women to be desperate pick-me's, to worship men here on earth. And if you are supposed to be Christian, religious, spiritual, why would you want to train women to worship men? It should just be about worshiping God and no one else, not putting anyone else before him. So I feel like there's some hypocrisy in what he's saying if he's supposed to be a Christian man. And before that soundbite that I showed you all, he was talking about being Christian and not having your daughters on BIRTHCONTROL. I don't want to get into discussing like, you know, DRUGS because sometimes YouTube doesn't like that, but that's what he was talking about. And it got really, really deep. So if you want to hear what he said prior to that, it was started like 36 minutes in. You know, I can post the link in the comments, but I feel like conversation like this is to make women be desperate. And some people, not all, but some people who are churchgoers, I'm not saying spiritual, but churchgoers who are very indoctrinated and they're just used to like judging people if they can see your tattoo, if, you know, they judge what you wear to church and they're always worried about the outer appearance, you know, those would be the type of people to groom women with those desperate messages. So I thought that was just so dangerous. And, you know, for the most part, most Blacks are not going to see that clip. I saw it from watching a very liberal news channel on YouTube. It's called The Indisputable with Dr. Richie. Dr. Richie is a Black lawyer from Atlanta. And he goes live every day at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they no longer save their lives on their YouTube channel. I'm guessing like for legal purposes, perhaps, because they show like matters of police and people and, you know, like violent things also. So you have to, even if you're working, like while I'm working, I'll pull up his live at 2:30 so that it's in my search history, because otherwise you won't get to see that day's coverage. But I saw this today and I wanted to share with you all. What do you all think about? Do you think like you were no longer attractive at the age of 30? I know it's ridiculous, but what do you think about the message and him putting that out there? Because again, what I was saying was not a lot of Black people would see that clip. So not our women can get that desperation message, but like for all of the white women that are watching him, that's pretty sad that is the content that he is feeding them. So hopefully they are independent thinkers and they have enough self-esteem to call BS on what he said. But yes, I would love to hear from you all what you thought about this. And also, did you peep where he said that women in their early 30s who went to college, have their own job, make their own money, and they did not get married, 95% of them vote Democratic, even more of them vote Democratic than Black voters. You know, and before that, he also said that the Democratic Party was like the bitter party, like give us your bitterness and we'll give you stuff. It gets really deep, but that clip was what I wanted to share, kind of like the garbage he was feeding to women in their early 30s. Well, we shall see what goes on with this video, child, with me sharing this. Because I remember before y'all even knew of my channel, I don't even think I had 50 subscribers. I made a video about Candace Owens' documentary on Black Lives Matter. Baby, that video is gone. They had a huge problem with it. So yeah, freedom of speech, all speech ain't free, okay? But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the support. Please hit the like button on this video. It is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. I hope that you all had a wonderful Wednesday. It is almost the weekend, y'all. I am oh so excited. And of course, I work from home, so like I had food here for breakfast and lunch, but I think I'm gonna go out for dinner. I think I'm gonna have some Mexican. So I will talk with y'all soon. It's going to be a thriving Thursday. Shout out to my subscriber who gave me that. I love it. Thank you. And I will talk with y'all soon. Bye.